It is clear that the Serene Sun light system is quite stunning. I've been using this system for over 1.5 years now, and today I want to give my long-term review and answer if the system is worth the price. Hi, it's Connor. So welcome back to my channel. So some of my earliest videos on this channel were right after I got this whole aquarium system from Current USA. It's a Serene Aquarium system, and one of the most notable things about it is it comes with the Serene Sun light system, which you can buy separate of the aquarium. Now, I previously made videos both reviewing the entire aquarium system itself and also a video showing all the features of the light system. Now, after using them all this time and never having done a specific review on the lights, I really wanted to just give one directly addressing the lights, go over the pros and cons of the light system, and then answer in this video 2 questions. The first is, are the lights worth the price? The second is, would I get this light system for a new aquarium? Alright, so I want to first go over the positives of the system. So really the main thing to say is they just look amazing. That is really the crux of the positives, is they just look great. They look even better in real life than on camera, and they already look good in camera and all pictures. The gradients you can create combining the top light and the back light are just amazing, and with being able to have them dynamically change on their own, go from color to color, you can really create just so many options, and being able to control the top light really just lets you have so many options for what you can set the aquarium to look like, and it's really just fun to play with, and it looks absolutely incredible. Now, for all the different options, as I said in the beginning, I do have a video showing all the features. It's one of my earlier videos. I just go through everything on the remote control. If you're really thinking about the system, I really recommend checking that out just to see everything that it can do. Another positive is the effects it comes with are just fun. It has about a handful of different effects, anything from thunderstorm to rolling clouds to a sunset. And they're just fun to use, and especially when the weather is like that outside, like in the summer when there's a thunderstorm, I love just putting the tank on the thunderstorm mode, and it's just fun to do in that aspect, and it looks great too. And the last positive is that it's plenty powerful for plants, so whether you want low-tech plants or higher-tech plants that require higher light, it'll be great for any of those. You just have to find the right lighting level you need for the plants, but I think it'll support pretty much any plant you can get. Now, I did want to go on to the negatives of the system, and there's a few things I actually want to show you on the tank. So let's head on over to my 65 gallon. Now for the cons and the negatives of the system. So the first is the remote, which I do have down here, is a little bit finicky. There's not as many controls as I would like for everything that the lights can do. And then it's not very intuitive to program the system and set up the timing modes. It's not the hardest thing to do, but every time I do it, I have to go in the instructions and follow the instructions step by step. And it's not something that you can really pick up the system and figure out how to do. And also, once you're in one of the timing modes, it's kind of, you always have to remember how to get out of the timing mode so you can just use the other controls freely. So it's not really very intuitive in terms of that, and you can't really figure it out without just like guessing on the remote. And when you are setting the timing modes, when you're going through and programming all the different times, you kind of have to go pretty quick and know what you want, because there is very limited time between when you set something and then go into the next thing and have to set that. So you really kind of just have to either write it down or know what you want to do. Otherwise you'll run out of time and then you'll have to start the whole process over again. And the next negative thing is that if the power goes out, even for just a second, you just have a little brownout, the whole system will reset. So now it'll keep what lights you have set for the times, but the actual, I have it down here, right here, the actual time on the system will reset, and it can be pretty annoying. So it'll always just reset straight to midnight, and it can be very frustrating when that happens, especially if it's not a full power outage and the power just resets real quickly because there's a quick storm or something. So just a little frustrating that it doesn't save the actual time where it's at, or it can't get that. Another thing is that you can only have one on and off time for the timer mode. So if you want to have multiple photo periods, then you can't do that with just the timer it comes with. So for example, if you want to have the lights on in the morning when you're awake, and then after work in the evening when you get home, you can only choose one or the other and have one photo period of it on. And I went with that for a long time, but now I kind of realized, oh, it'd really be nice just to have them in the morning and then at night, both times when I'm actually going to be enjoying my aquarium. What I ended up doing, which is a little frustrating considering one of the big selling points of the system is a timer, is I actually got my own timer. And so basically what I do is I just have the lights turn on right at midnight, right at 0. And then I just have a timer turning them on and off. So this solves the previous two problems of, if the power goes out, this will reset. That's fine, because when it starts up at 0, it's just going to turn on. And also that I'm able to now do 2 photo periods with my own timer. So I kind of solved that problem with my own, but kind of annoying that you can't just do it with theirs, because it is pretty simple to do either one of those. Another thing is the backlight controls for the light in the back. I don't really like. I do have a backlight that I bought for itself for a smaller tank by Current USA. And I really enjoy the controls on that for the backlight. You can just manually cycle through all the lights. With this, you have to put it on a gradient and then stop it at the color you want. And it can be very hard to get the exact shade you want. Whereas on the standalone backlight and remote, you can just cycle through and really control each one individually, like you can the top light on this one. So I really wish they just had more controls for the backlight, as if you bought that standalone. It's kind of unfortunate that it's not as easy to use. The next thing is it does come with speakers, and so I never really used them. I don't even know if I can set it up. I could try it. I'll try it real quick. There we go. So let's put it on. It does have some sounds. And I'm going to turn it off real quick. But basically, it comes with sounds, all different like ambient sort of sounds, and they do sound kind of cool, but I never use them, and I don't really see a use case for using them. And it's really something that I'm not a fan of. Like, I think they sound cool and go cool with it, but I literally never use it, and I can't see a use case where I wouldn't use it. So I personally would rather they just removed them and saved, $10, $20, whatever they could on the kit, and just reduce the price point a little bit. But anyway, that was a long list of negatives, and it was a shorter list of positives, but really the positives are it just looks so cool, and there are a bunch of options. And so basically we want to get to the 2 questions. The first being, is it worth the price? So this model is the 48 to 60 inch model, so it's 48 inches long, and so that's the size of tank you want to rent it on. And then they have ones for all different size tanks, starting as small as about 18 inches. The cost for this model is $240. And that's for the whole kit, everything included: the light, background light, film, speakers, controller, and the remote down here. And they range anywhere from $170 to $300 depending on the size you're getting. But when I compare this kit to other high-end freshwater lights on the market, this one matches up with price. It's actually even a little cheaper if you get this system versus some of the others. Most notably, I looked at the Fluval Plant 3.0 and the Twin Star models. So when you compare the price of what's on the market, I think this one is definitely worth it. It just looks so cool. There's so many options. It'll handle a wide variety of plants. But there are some negatives to it, and I kind of just wish they would have a better remote mainly if they had a bigger remote and more controls on there. I think controlling it and programming and everything could be made much more intuitive, and it would allow a lot more features. I think there's so much you can do with this light, but the control only lets you do so much. All things considered, I love the look of it, and I think for the price of what else is on the market, it's a very fair value, and I think it is worth the price. Next question I want to answer is, would I get this light system for a future tank? Overall, the answer is yes for me. I definitely would get the background light for future tanks. I will say that. I love the background light. If I'm not doing a fully black background, this tank's kind of dark, so the light's off. But if I'm not painting a background black, I really like the lighted look on the background and having a gradient. So I would probably get the background light always for a different tank. I'm running up my 36 gallon right now. The top light really depends on what I'm trying to do in the tank. So I think the top light with the colors it has on there, you can kind of see them a little. And the backlight, it really creates a really, really nice gradient between them. But I am curious about some of the other top-end models, specifically the Fluval Plant 3.0. I know they have an app where you can control it and even get templates from other people. So that sounds really cool. It's a bit more expensive, but I'd probably be curious about trying that and then comparing them. So overall, I think that you can't go wrong with this kit, and I'm very happy with my purchase, but it really depends on if the price is worth it to you, and you have to just understand that setting it up and controlling it might be not the easiest thing to do all the time. But anyway, that wraps up my long-term review of this Current USA Serene Sun system. Let me know if there are any questions that I not addressed in this video. And if you are thinking about the system, I highly recommend checking out the features video I did. It's one of my earlier videos on the channel, but it goes through showing all the light options on this tank and everything you can do with the light, really going through everything on the control. So I'll link that in the description. But anyway, thanks for watching and staying to the end of the video. And anyway, I'll catch everyone next time.